Good morning, one and all. So last class we are solving the two models. So one is the brake test, second one is the swim mud test. So in brake test, so we are discussing about the effective load as well as spring suspension loads on the motor with different parameters. So S1 difference, S2 or effective value. So in these two models is to be calculated in last class. So another one is swim mud test. So without operating on loaded condition, we can find out the efficiency of a motor. So in this, whatever the parameters or whatever the losses is to be considered, those losses are also measured in swim mud test. Based on those losses, we can find out the efficiency of a motor. So now, we are discussing on another problem related to the swim mud test. So when running on a no load, a 400 volt shunt motor takes 5 amperes, armature resistance 0.5 ohm and field resistance 200 ohms. So find the output motor efficiency when running on full load taking a current of 50 amperes. So find the percentage change in speed from no load to full load. So in this, so first of all, so we can draw the shunt motor. So which is equal to field winding across the armature, across the supply voltage. So supply voltage is equal to 400 volts. So current is to be taken from no load condition is equal to 5 amperes. Armature resistance is equal to 0.5 ohms. Field resistance, which is to be denoted by RSH, is equal to 200 ohms. So corresponding efficiency of a motor is to be calculated, corresponding current is to be drawn from the supply is equal to 50 amperes at that instant. So we can find out the percentage change in speed from no load to full load. So input voltage is equal to input voltage V is equal to 400 volts. So I naught or no load current, I naught is equal to 5 amperes. Armature resistance of a motor RA is equal to 0.5 ohms. So RSH, shunt field resistance, RSH is equal to 200 ohms. So in this, power output as well as efficiency. Another one is speed, percentage change in speed is to be calculated, percentage of change in speed. So in this, before going to the measurement of all these parameters, first of all we can find out the ISH, shunt field current. So ISH or shunt field current is ISH is equal to voltage divided by RSH. So which is equal to 400 divided by 200 is equal to 2 amperes. So ISH is equal to 2 amperes. So what about the armature current? IA is equal to IL or no load, I naught, IL minus ISH is equal to 5 minus 2 amperes is equal to 3 amperes. Armature current IA is equal to 3 amperes. So based on these expressions, we can find out the armature current is equal to 3 amperes. Another one is armature copper losses. Armature copper losses is equal to IA square into RA. IA is equal to 3 square into RA is equal to 0.5 is equal to 4.5 watts. So armature copper loss is equal to IA square RA. We can substituting the armature current and resistance when you are getting the armature copper loss is equal to 4.5 watts. So what about the input power or total losses? So input power or total losses is equal to voltage into current. So whatever the input voltage is to multiplied with input current is equal to 400 multiplied with 5 is equal to 2000 watts. So this much amount of power is to be drawn from the supply. So this power is to be utilized the losses in a motor. So that's why which is called as a total losses in a motor is equal to 2000 watts. So then armature copper losses is equal to 4.5 which is equal to variable losses. So then we can find out the total losses is equal to constant losses plus variable losses. So variable losses is equal to armature copper losses which is equal to 4.5. So then we can find out the constant losses is equal to total losses 2000 minus variable losses 4.5 is equal to 19.5 watts. So based on the Swinburne test, so we can find out the constant losses in a DC motor is equal to 1995 watts. 1995.5 watts. So based on the Swinburne test, we are always calculating the constant losses in a motor is equal to WC is equal to input power or total losses minus armature copper losses when we are getting the constant losses. So based on these losses, so we can find out the efficiency of a motor. So that means, so whenever the current is to be drawn from the supply on full load condition or any type of loaded condition, so armature or line current is equal to 50 amperes. So in this instant we can find out the efficiency. IL is equal to 50 amperes. So that means again we can draw the field current as well as armature across the supply voltage. Supply voltage is always constant which is equal to 400 volts. But current drawn from the supply is equal to 50 amperes. So in this instant we can find out the efficiency. IL is equal to 50 amperes. But during the operating conditions, shunt field current IS which is always constant which is equal to 2 amperes. So what about the armature current? IA is equal to IL minus ISH because of applying KCL in this loop. Incoming currents is equal to outgoing currents. IA is equal to IL minus ISH. 50 minus 2 is equal to 48 amperes. So which is equal to 0.5. So which is equal to 200 ohms. Armature current is equal to 48. So then armature copper losses is equal to IA square into RA. So which is equal to 48 square into 0.5. 48 square into 0.5 is equal to 1152 watts. Armature copper loss is equal to 1152 watts. Already we know the constant losses. So variable losses for the 50 amperes load is equal to 1152. Total losses is equal to constant losses plus variable losses. That means armature copper losses at 50 amperes of load. So which is equal to variable losses. So which is equal to constant losses is equal to 1995.5 plus variable losses is equal to 1152. So because of constant losses are always independent of loads. Once the constant losses are fixed in a motor, so which is to be independent of load, corresponding whatever the current is to be drawn from the supply, those losses will not be changed. So that's why the summation of these two is equal to 3147.5 watts. So these are the total losses. So then we can find out the efficiency. That means power output is equal to voltage into current. current V into I is equal to 400 multiplied with 50 amperes is equal to 20,000 watts. 20,000 watts. So sorry, power input is equal to voltage into current is equal to input parameters. Voltage into current 400 into 50 by is equal to 20,000 watts. So then power output is equal to power input minus total losses is equal to 20,000 minus, so 3147.5 is equal to 16,852.5 watts. So which is also is equal to 16.85 kilowatts. 16.85 kilowatts. So these are the power output. So then efficiency of a motor, efficiency is equal to power output divided by input. So which is equal to power output divided by power input. Power input is equal to power output is equal to 16.85 divided by 20 kilowatts. Kilowatts gets cancelled into 100 is equal to 84.26. 84.26 percentage. So but in this problem we can find out the percentage change in speed. So that means percentage change in speed is to be calculated by using back EMFs of both the conditions. So that means EB1 is the at no load condition, voltage equation of a motor. So EB1 is equal to V minus IA naught. So that is the no load armature current, IA naught into RA. So which is equal to voltage, input voltage. In this condition we are calculating the back EMF of a motor. So which is equal to 400 minus IA naught, armature current at no load condition is equal to 3 into RA 0.5 is equal to 400 minus 0.5 1.5. So 398.5 volts. 398.5 volts. So that is the first condition. Second one is so we can find out the efficiency of a second condition or back EMF of second condition. EB2 is equal to V minus IA into RA. So that is the 50 amperes of current or armature current is equal to 48 amperes. So which is equal to V 400 minus IA is equal to 48 multiplied with 0.5 is equal to EB2 is equal to 376 volts. 376 volts. So these are the two equations. All of you know the back EMF equation. EB is directly proportional to speed. So N1 divided by N2 is equal to EB1 divided by EB2. EB1 divided by EB2. So N1 by N2 or N1 divided by N2 is equal to EB1 is equal to 398.5 divided by EB2 is equal to 376. So in both the conditions or left hand side as well as right hand side, so we can subtracting minus 1. So N1 by N2 minus 1 is equal to 398.5 divided by 376 minus 1. So LCM on left hand side, N1 minus N2 divided by N2 is equal to so 398.5 minus 376 is equal to 22.5 divided by 376 is equal to 0.0598. So in this, which is equal to percentage of change in speed, is equal to 5.98%. So that is the final expression of a given problem. So first one is input voltage currents. So based on that, so we can find out the shunt field copper losses or shunt field current is equal to voltage divided by resistance. So then we can find out the constant losses. So corresponding current is to be drawn from the supply is equal to 50 amperes. So which is to be calculating the total losses, constant losses plus variable losses. Power output divided by input is equal to 84.26 percentage. 84.26 percentage. So in this problem we can find out the percentage of change in speed from no load to full load. So that's why no load condition EB1 is equal to 398 volts. EB2 full load condition is equal to 376 volts. So we know the relation between EB and N. N1 by N2 is equal to EB1 by EB2. N1 by N2 is equal to substituting these two parameters, subtracting -1 on both sides. So then N1 minus N2 divided by N2 is the percentage of change in speed from no load to full load. So that is the expression of change in speed. So this parameter is to be calculated. Percentage of change in speed means N1 minus N2 by N2. So that value is always nearer to the 0. Then only that machine is to be acts as a effective machine or good machine. So that's why percentage of change in speed is 5%, 5.98%. So that is the first one. So next one is Hopkinson's test. So Hopkinson's test is also called as a regenerative test. So which is also called as a back-to-back test. So in this already we are find out the efficiency of a motor. So generator set. So by using Hopkinson's test or back-to-back test. So in this the Hopkinson's test on two similar shunt machines are gave the following full load data. So line voltage is equal to 110 volts. Field currents are 3 amperes and 3.5 amperes. Line current is equal to 48 amperes. Line current is equal to 48 amperes. Armature resistance of each one is equal to 0.035 ohms. So motor armature current is equal to 230 amperes. So in this calculate the efficiency of each machine assuming a brush contact drop of 1 volt per brush. 1 volt per brush. So in this, so first of all, so we can draw the circuit diagram of a shunt motor. Hopkinson's test or shunt motor is to be operates on Hopkinson's test. So in this, so first one is supply voltage. First one is supply voltage. So which is to be connected across the motor armature, connected across the field winding, So another one is supply voltage V is equal to 110 volts. Supply voltage is equal to 110 volts. So which is to be directly coupled to the generator, generator armature. So which is to be connected across field winding of a generator. So this is the circuit diagram. So in this diagram, so whatever the parameters is to be given, so which is to be denoted by corresponding parameters. So one is the field currents of 3 amperes and 3.5 amperes. Motor is equal to 3 amperes. So which is equal to 3.5 amperes. 3.5 amperes. Motor armature current is equal to 230 volts, 230 amperes. So corresponding current is to be coming to the motor generator set is equal to 48 amperes. So based on these notations, so we can representing currents in each and every path. So that means 230 plus 233 is equal to 233 amperes is to be coming to the armature. So in this 233 amperes as well as 48. What about the current is to be coming from the generator is equal to 185 amperes. 185 amperes. So 185 amperes is to be coming to the generator. So in this 3.5 is equal to 188.5 amperes is to be generated by the generator. So which is equal to 3.5 amperes. 3.5 amperes. So which is equal to 230 amperes is equal to 3 amperes is equal to 3 amperes. Return path is equal to 48 amperes. 48 amperes. So 48 amperes is to be coming to this side. So corresponding addition of currents, or so what about the current is to be coming to this path is equal to 45 amperes. 45 plus 3 amperes is equal to 48 amperes. So 230 amperes as well as, so in between these two is equal to 185 amperes. 185 amperes. 185 plus 3.5 is equal to 188.5 amperes. So these are the currents is to be represented in a Hopkinson's test or motor generator set. So motor is to be generator. These two are directly coupled to each other. Directly coupled to each other. So after that, so we can find out the efficiency of a motor. So before going to the efficiency of a motor, so first of all, whatever the losses is to be existing in a motor as well as generator is to be calculated. So case number 1 is for motor. For motor. So in these conditions, so we can find out the armature copper losses as well as voltage drop across the each brush. Another one is shunt field copper losses. So armature copper losses is equal to Ia square into Ra. So Ia square into Ra, Ia square is equal to 230 square into armature resistance of each machine is equal to Ra is equal to Ra of each machine is equal to 0.035 ohms, which is equal to 0.035 is equal to 1851.1 watts. 1 watts. So which is equal to 5. 1851.5 watts. So these are the armature copper losses. Another one is voltage drop or power loss in brush contact. Power loss in brush contact. Brush contact is equal to voltage into current. So current in the armature is equal to 230. So 230 current multiplied with voltage across each brush is equal to 1 volt, but which is having 2 brushes. So that's a 2 volts is equal to 460 watts. 460 watts. So third one is shunt field copper losses. Shunt field copper losses. So which is equal to shunt field copper losses is equal to shunt field copper losses. Shunt field copper losses is equal to voltage into current. So voltage is equal to 110 volts because of what about the potential difference between these two must be is equal to supply voltage, which is equal to V into ISH. So 110 multiplied with ISH is equal to 3 is equal to 330 watts. So these are the total losses in a motor. So total losses in a motor. Total losses in motor is equal to armature copper losses plus brush loss plus another one is shunt field copper loss. Shunt field copper loss. Shunt field copper loss is equal to 1851.5 plus brush drop is equal to 460 watts plus 330 watts. 330 watts is equal to 2642 watts. 2642 watts. These are the total loss in a motor. So case number 2 is the for generator. For generator condition. Similarly, same parameters is to be calculated in generator. So first one is armature in this region. So we can calculate the armature copper losses. armature copper loss is equal to armature current is equal to 188.5. So Ia square into Ra is equal to 188.5 whole square into Ra is equal to 0.035 is equal to 1244 watts. 1244 watts armature copper losses. Another one is power loss in brush drop is equal to voltage into current. So current across the armature is equal to 188.5 multiplied with voltage across each brush is equal to 1 volt. Total brushes are 2 volts. So which is equal to 377 watts. 377 watts. So shunt field copper losses. Shunt field copper loss is equal to V into ISH. So voltage across these two terminals are also same as that of supply voltage is equal to 110 multiplied with 3.5 is equal to 385 watts. So total losses of a generator, is equal to summation of these three, 1244 plus 377 plus 385 is equal to 2006. So these are the total losses is to be existing in a motor as well as generator set. So total losses of armature, total losses in motor generator set is equal to summation of these two, 2642 plus 2006. So motor generator set is equal to 4648 watts. So these are the total losses in a generator motor set. So second one is total input is equal to voltage into current. So voltage is equal to 110 multiplied with 48. 110 is to be multiplied with 48. So is equal to 5280 watts. 5280 watts. So difference between these two, that means stray losses of motor generator set or stray losses of set. So it is equal to motor generator is equal to difference between these two. So it is equal to 5280 minus 4648 is equal to, so difference between these two is equal to 632 watts. So stray losses because of, so both are identical machines, armature resistance is also same, so that's why stray losses of each machine is equal to, which is equal to W by 2 is equal to 632 divided by 2 is equal to 316 watts. So based on the conduction of a Hopkinson's test, we can find out the stray losses of each machine is equal to 316 watts. So then we can find out the efficiency of a motor. So that means motor efficiency. So in this, total losses of a machine is equal to, of a motor is equal to 264. So another one is stray losses. That means total losses is equal to total losses of no load condition or these armature copper losses, brush contactor drop, shunt field copper losses is equal to 2642 plus stray losses of each machine is equal to 316. 316. So which is equal to 2958 watts. 2958. So motor input is equal to motor input voltage is equal to voltage into current. So motor input is equal to voltage into current. Voltage is equal to 110 multiplied with current is equal to 233 amperes. 233 is equal to 25630 watts. So input is equal to 25,630 watts. So output is equal to input minus losses. Input minus losses. So motor output is equal to motor input minus. So that means 25,630 minus total losses 2958. So which is equal to 22,678 watts. So efficiency is equal to motor output divided by motor input. Motor output divided by motor input is equal to 22,672 divided by 25,630 is equal to 88.8%. 88.8%. So these are the losses or efficiency of a motor by calculating stray losses of each machine by using Hopkinson's test. Hopkinson's test. In the similar fashion, so we can find out the efficiency of a generator. Efficiency of generator. Efficiency of generator. So total losses in a generator is equal to total. Same steps is to be followed in generator. Total losses is equal to total losses is equal to 2006 plus stray losses of each machine 316 23 total loss of a machine is equal to 2322 watts. 2322 watts. Okay. So next, total losses. Motor generator input is equal to generator output is equal to voltage into current. So voltage is equal to 110. Corresponding current. So 110 multiplied with current is equal to 188.5 amperes. So 188.5 amperes is equal to 2350 watts. 2350 watts. So generator input is equal to generator input is equal to output plus losses. Output plus losses. Output is equal to 20,350 plus losses is equal to 2322 is equal to, so motor input is equal to generator input is equal to 22,672 watts. So generator efficiency is equal to output divided by input. So output is equal to 20,350 divided by 22,672 into 100 is equal to 89.4%. 89.4%. So based on this procedure, we can find out the efficiency of a motor as well as generator by using Hopkinson's test. So based on the given data, so we can representing all the parameters or currents in each and every path. So based on those paths, so we can find out the efficiency of a motor or total loss in a motor as well as generator. So these two parameters is to be calculated for total loss of each and every machine. So then, so by using of input, so 110 into 48 amperes is to be drawn from the supply. That much amount of voltage and current is to be utilizing the losses in a generator as well as motor. So remaining the output of a generator must be given to the input of the motor, or output of a motor is equal to input of a generator. So based on these two constraints, we can find out the efficiency of a motor as well as generator. If you have to find out the efficiency of both the conditions, motor efficiency is always lesser than the generator efficiency, which is equal to 88.4 and 89.4.